Here's how I created this graphic in Adobe Photoshop. So first off, we're going to go ahead and create a new project. I'm going to set my dimensions, 1920 by 1080. There we go. And I want to bring in my image. So I'll go ahead and bring this in. This is the image that we'll be using. Go ahead and scale it to where I want it to be. There we go. All right. So this is how we're going to do it. We're going to start off with our general text layer. So I'm going to call this layer. Let's go ahead and name it. This is going to be our title for the video. Let's do, this is how I created. I'm going to change this to my favorite Helvetica bold. There we go. I like to make it all caps, so we'll do that right here. Make it all caps. Make it a little bit bigger. Let's go about there. And then I'm also going to shrink the kerning because I'm a big fan of kerned letters. All right, so that's to start. Now we want to add that little bit of glow we saw. So we're going to go in blending options, add some outer glow right here. Just kind of tweak it. I like to add a little noise to give it that really glowy effect. So we'll look at it. We're going to spread a little bit. Just kind of tweak these settings until you like it. Don't want to go too heavy, maybe a little less on the noise, like that. Let's look at what that looks like. That's probably a little heavier than I want. Let's go down just a tiny bit more on the size. Let's go with that. This is how I created. All right, so now we're going to create another text layer. So I'm going to hit T for text. Oh, hit T for text layer, and then I'm going to do this graphic. So right now this is all caps because we still have the same settings from the last text layer. So let's turn that off. Then I want to make this that swooshy font. So Luxurious Script is the one that we used. And then this does not need as much kerning because it's a script font. But I still will do a little bit just to kind of connect some of these letters and make it feel better. And I want to get that kind of in the spot that I want it on the graphic. All right. So let's go with this to start. We'll kind of tweak it once we have that stroke in there to show us how that's going to be. All right, so we have our text layer here, and we'll look at it a little bit more on placement once we have the stroke. Let's go ahead and duplicate that text layer. So we have this graphic copy. So this one we're going to call our overlay text. This one we will call our stroke text. All right, so now with our overlay text, we're just going to go ahead and convert it to a smart object, and that is great. We're done. So now stroke text, we're going to go ahead and create that to a smart object. We have a couple more things we need to do. We need to go in that, and we are going to go ahead and scale this. We're going to scale this artboard up a little bit. We'll just go to 1200 and 400 just to make it a little bit bigger. And I want to center that text again. Then we will go ahead and convert this to a smart object as well. I know we're going to go 2 smart objects deep, and then I'm going to add a stroke to this smart object. So we're going to go to blending options. We'll go into stroke right here, and we just want to add a very strong stroke. It can be whatever color you want. I'm just going to go with yellow. So we'll go ahead and save that smart object. Go back to our file. So right now we can see that we have our overlay text and our stroke text, and actually you can see that there are 2 separate files. So overlay text and stroke gives us that nice stroke outline. So one more thing I'm going to do is I have my image, which is also a smart object. So there's a couple cool things about this that I'll show you in a moment. I have my image. We'll make sure that's a smart object, and then I have my stroke text, my overlay text. I'm going to take my now smart object, I'll name it background. I'm going to drag this up above my stroke text, and then I'm going to make it a clipping mask. So what that's going to do is it's going to clip out that text around it and give us that cool outlined setting. So the only thing we're missing now is that I want this inside text to also have a little bit of a glow. So we'll go in here, turn on outer glow, and now we have that nice glow even inside the outline. So there's a couple really cool things about making the graphic this way in that it is completely non-destructive. So if I wanted to bring in another photo, I would go here I would select my background smart object. I can go ahead and drop in my other photo. So we'll actually use this right here. So we'll drop it in, and we'll go ahead and we'll leave it at this size because again, we are working on a horizontal artboard. So go ahead and use it this side. So I'll save that. We'll bring it here. So this is because I had sized up that image, but we want to select this and the background copy, and we can resize this however we want. And then if I want to change my text, I can go into my stroke text and I can say, we'll go in one more layer, say new video. And again, I like to center that. Save. And you see that it changed it here, and we'll center that and save. So we'll see we got a little stuff going on. So we want to actually even go in our overlay text, and we will retype the same thing as well, new video. And we want to center that and hit save. So now when we go back in our main file, you'll see that that has followed us around. We can grab those two text layers and move it however we wanted, do whatever we want with it, and that is it. We have our cool stroke outline text graphic.